The hip side muscles cause strange pain going down to the leg, going here, here, and down to your ankle. They are called gluteus medius and minimus. And unexpectedly, they are a massive problem for many of you guys, as shown by the success of my videos on the topic. Today, I'd like to show you an improved version of the stretch that I demonstrate in the other videos. Welcome, I'm Olivier Girard, ergonomist, posture therapist, author of the Posture Manual, and creator of 3 online posture programs. If you like what I'm going to show you here, remember to like, to share, to comment. This is excellent for sharing the knowledge with the other guys who need it too. Now, what do I mean with improved version of the stretch? The old stretch is like this, you go against the wall, tack, and you tilt your pelvis. There are different difficulties with that stretch. Difficulty number 1 is that it is done in a standing posture. And the standing posture is actually quite unstable, so it's difficult to ensure a high quality standing posture. In particular, most people don't know how to do the pelvic tilt properly. Most of them can do a hollow back, but when it's a matter of flattening their back, instead of doing this, they go there, which isn't the same. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, and that applies in my opinion to all the standing and some sitting stretches, is that, as you stand, the weight is on the tissues that you try to stretch. The weight acts as a resistance to the stretch. So, the stretch would be more effective if we would cancel this resistance before we lengthen the muscle, which is the reason why I love lying down stretches so much. So let's go for it. Let's build together the lying down version of the gluteus medius and minimus stretch using a couch, but that could be a bed, that could be a chair, that could be anything. Let's lie down on the floor with my 2 feet on the couch. This is actually a lower back stretch, my friends. So per se, this is already comfortable. But what we're going to do now is cross this leg on top of the other, and therefore, let the leg go down. When you do this movement, your pelvis will go along a little, but you should try to keep your shoulder blades as close to the ground as possible. This one might raise a little bit, but don't go with it, otherwise you don't have any effort here anymore, okay? Per se, this is already a position in which you may feel some stretch. Now, there are 3 things you can do, 3 fine-tuning actions, so that you can customize the stretch for your needs. Look, action number 1 is look for the right angle on that leg, on the upper leg. Here, you're stretching different fibers as you are doing here. So number 1, you look for the right angle for you depending on what you feel. Here is quite good for me. That's action number 1. Action number 2 is post-isometric relaxation, meaning that I will raise my leg against gravity whilst inhaling and let go whilst exhaling. You do this 3 times. And action number 3 is that you should try to bring your hip further away in that direction. That will create a stretch of, in particular, the lower back muscles, quadratus lumborum and so on, which belong to the same kind of family of muscles, which is what I call the asymmetry muscles, meaning the muscles that suffer from lateral asymmetry of your body. For example, scoliosis, by the way. So this may be a useful exercise for people with scoliosis that is, say, concave on the right side lower back. Here I'm reopening that right side. Okay, so action number 1, look for the right angle. Action number 2, post-isometric relaxation. Action number 3, push your hip in the direction of your ankle. There's a variant of this stretch when you're in bed, is to use gravity and, let that leg fall lower than horizontal, And that is kind of the same. When do you need to stretch? Well, you need to stretch to help the muscle recover, and I usually say if you need to stretch more than twice a day, well, it means that there's something you did not do yet at causal level. Typically, you're still standing a lot on one leg. Now, how long should you stretch for? Well, my advice is that you stretch 40 to 60 seconds at least, and that is until you feel that the muscle loosens up by itself. you should not cause pain whilst doing the stretch. The no pain, no gain does not apply here, even less than in the other areas of posture therapy.